Ciao football lovers of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, that's the epic game of this evening, I can't wait. And we'll do a watch along on this channel, so put the notification ring on so that you know when we start. But in today's video, we go towards all the stats, all the nice to know, all the things that you need to be fully prepared for the big clash of this evening. Of course, the back and forth between Tuchel and Ancelotti in press conference, that was quite funny. Some prediction from Tuchel, but pay attention, I will also give you my prediction. Because what I have in mind will happen this evening. I have a score, and it will happen. Then you can come back on the channel, tell me, Beppe, you're right. Because it will not happen that you come back here on the channel telling me, Beppe, you were wrong. It is impossible. But we'll also speak about La Liga with Lewandreski with 3 goals yesterday, saving Barcelona after the disaster mistake of Ter Stegen. Put a maximum of like, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, make the channel bigger. We are about to reach 2,200 football lovers. We start now, and if yesterday we spoke about Thiago Silva, legend of the game, I want to go to another legend of the game, Jamie VARDY, because yesterday they were celebrating not only the promotion to Premier League but also the first spot in second. Well, next season 24-25 they will fight in Premier League with Jamie VARDY, with their captain that will be there for the 13th season. This season he was on fire, 36 games played, 20 goals for the 37 years old striker, the loyal man that will be there and trying to reach 200 goals, because so far in 463 games with Leicester, he scored 190, and I'm sure he will do it. And I'm super happy. I was happy to see him celebrating, and I'm sure that next season they will do super well in Premier League, and I can already anticipate you, they will avoid relegation. They will remain in Premier League. Now we start with the game of tomorrow, of this evening, sorry. Bayern Munich against Real Madrid, like us is calling it El Clásico de Europa, the European Classic. And for the people that watched the video of yesterday, you already know why it's called the European Classic. I will not repeat it. My attention was caught by the title of Marca. El infierno es el Madrid. Hell is Madrid, with the word hell, infierno, in red. I will come back on that with my interpretation of why they have put that word in red in a second, and it's quite funny, to be honest. The word revenge is unimportant this evening for the two coaches. Ancelotti on one side, Tuchel on the other side. Why Ancelotti? Because a few years ago, we all know he was the coach of Bayern Munich. He will meet ex-players that he coached, like Kimmich, like Coman, like Müller, like Neuer. He was sacked. Diplomatic, a gentleman, but I'm sure that he wants to go for a revenge. Even if in press conference he said, I'm not looking for revenge, guys. Guys, we can all know, because he has also another dream, going to the final and probably meeting Paris Saint-Germain, his ex-team, also a team that he was able to coach. Unfortunately for Paris Saint-Germain, unfortunately for him, he was never able to win the Champions League with Paris Saint-Germain. So going there and continuing their streak in winning Champions League and beating Paris Saint-Germain could be a big one for Ancelotti. But also revenge. And you know what's funny? Ancelotti has a revenge to take against Bayern Munich, but probably also Tuchel has a revenge to take, not against Real Madrid, but against Bayern Munich himself. We know it's a big tension between the bosses and the coach that is already sacked. His destiny is already written. There are some people that are even writing dead men walking. So he wants to do really well. He wants to go to the final and meeting also him, Paris Saint-Germain, his ex-team that he brought to the final for the very first time in their history. Unfortunately for him, for Paris Saint-Germain, they lost that final. Against who? Against Bayern Munich. So he wants to take revenge against Bayern, against Paris Saint-Germain. But who knows? Because we didn't speak about it. Probably also his ex-team, Dortmund. He doesn't need to look for revenge with Dortmund because he did it really well with black and yellow. But of course, if Bayern Munich, if Tuchel, they go through against Real Madrid, well, it will be a next team that he will be able to face. Carlo Ancelotti, told you, he's looking for revenge. He's really looking for revenge against Tuchel as well. They played in the season when he was the coach of Bayern Munich, Ancelotti. They played against each other 4 times. At the moment, 2-2. But the most important game that was played in that season was the Supercoppa, the Super Cup, that Ancelotti was able to win. So what will happen in Cup this evening? My prediction is 1-1. I can guarantee you that. 1-1. And I could easily go towards Bayern Munich not conceding, because in the last 3 games that they played in Europe in their home, they never conceded. If you are looking for the goal that they conceded in Europe the last time, well, it was from Galatasaray 4 games ago. On the other side, the 5 games of this season in Champions League played by Madrid, away from home, they always scored. So a 1-1 is the thing that I can believe, I can feel. 1-1 this evening. Tuchel saying, at the moment, we put aside all our troubles. I'm focusing on the game of this evening. I'm focusing on the qualification. And I tell you, Gnabry will score. Gnabry will score. I don't know how he will score, but he will do it. And the funny thing is the reply of Ancelotti, look at his smile, he's saying, look, Vinicius has more chances to score than Mendy. A bit an answer to say, oh guys, predicting Gnabry to score is not the most difficult thing on earth. Anyway, we finished that chapter of Bayern and Real Madrid before going to the other things with an appeal from Bayern Munich, from Müller, that is asking against Real Madrid all in red. He's asking all the supporters, all the fans of Bayern Munich to go to the stadium all dressed in red, to represent actually the colors of Bayern Munich, to show the support, to show that they are massive, that there are a lot there behind their team. The funny thing is, all the stadium will probably be in red except of 11 players from Bayern Munich that will play probably in white. Funny thing, that was really funny. On the other side tomorrow, Paris Saint-Germain against Dortmund with Luis Enrique, and he's saying it will not be an easy one. It will be difficult to beat Dortmund, but we are in the best moment of our lives, the best moment of our seasons. Within France, they are not praising Mbappé anymore. They are praising him. Tout en haut de l'affiche, he's there on top of the poster, in front page, Luis Enrique, because he's the man that changed Paris Saint-Germain with the new mentality. He's the one that needs to be praised for the fantastic season of Paris Saint-Germain, with still the dream alive of the quadruplé. 4 cups in a season. And on Le Figaro, another French page, are speaking about Dembélé, the age of the reason, the age of the maturity. So they are preparing the game against Dortmund without Mbappé on their front page because they know that he will leave. Crazy. Sport is speaking about what happened yesterday in La Liga. I told you, Lewandreski with 3 goals. He was showing it to entirety of the world that was watching yesterday. Barcelona against Valencia. 4-2 was the final result. Salvador Lewandowski savior. Because at a certain moment, they were losing 2-1 against Valencia at halftime. Lewantreski, I don't need to translate it. The score was 4-2. I already told you. Fermin that opened the game. Then draw by Valencia with Duro, Pepe Lu, 38, they were leading before that red card of Mamardashvili. And you will tell me, Pepe, goalkeeper ruined the game. Yeah, but he was not alone, because before the hat-trick of Lewandowski, well, Ter Stegen did a disaster. Escándalo, it is a scandal. These are actually the words on Super Deporte. That is more a paper link to Valencia. They're not speaking about the disaster of Ter Stegen yet, they are speaking about that offside, not offside, with Lewandowski scoring his first goal, equalizing on 2-2, with Fermin Lopez that was in passive offside, obscuring actually the visibility of the goalkeeper. They say this one is a disaster. Every single week in La Liga there is another disaster. But I want to focus on the disaster from Araujo. Disaster again, week in, week out. I am watching the guy. I don't know if it's a moment of the season. I don't know if but he's not a reliable defender. He's a digital disaster. Paris Saint-Germain, now yesterday, a penalty given so easily. It's a disaster. Someone needs to stop Araujo because he's doing disasters. Luckily, Lewandowski was there, but we can also say that Ter Stegen did even worse. Look at yesterday. Back pass, he's there. What are you doing in that situation? You put that ball out of the field. You put it on the left side of the goalkeeper. You put it as far as you can. If you can, put it on the 3rd level. Put it on the 4th level of the stadium so that we never see the ball anymore. No, he's trying to chip the striker with the most horrible chip that I saw in my entire life. What a disaster for Ter Stegen. Probably had visions at that moment of a famous goal that he conceded from Messi. He wanted to replicate it. Well, this time he conceded another goal. What a disaster. In England, they're speaking about Erling Broad Haaland. I told you yesterday, look at his face. He's back to goal. He's happy. You want to hug him. Erling Haaland, well, on the pages today, they are going towards not that kind Haaland. They are speaking about hasta la vista, Mikel. Because he's back to scoring and he wants to terminate Arsenal and the Gunners' dreams of the title. Golden Boot, back in time with the goals, right in time to finish Arsenal. Will they be able to do it or not? I don't know. They are fighting for the title, Arsenal and Manchester City. And that's why they are speaking every day. One time it's Arsenal, one time it's City. While in Italy, the title is already gone. The second position is already gone, with two teams that already qualified to Champions League, Inter and Milan. What are they speaking about? Well, in a way about what happened yesterday with Genoa, winning 3-0 over Cagliari. They avoided relegation. It is sure they remain in the first division after being promoted last year. So congratulations to Gilardino, uprising coach that is doing extremely well. He did really well this season for his very first entire season in Serie A. So congratulations to them. And then in Italy, they are speaking about coaches. The season is not over yet. There are a lot of coaches that are still fighting to reach something. But the obsession in Italy at the moment is who will be the next coach of Milan, of Juventus, of Bologna, of Roma, of Atalanta. Who will be the next coaches? And Gazzetta dello Sport is speaking about a contract already done with Lopetegui 2 days ago. Yesterday there was a petition online, no Lopetegui. Well, today Gazzetta dello Sport is coming back on the words and wait. Milan is stopping. No, stop to the agreement with the Spanish coach. There are already 6 new coaches that has been contacted. So who are the 6 coaches in the list to replace Stefano Pioli? De Zerbi is an option that is growing, maybe leaving Brighton. I remind for the people that do not know that Zerbi is a Milan fan, so it could be act of love coming back to Serie A, but this time not anymore a Benevento or a Sassuolo, but going to Milan, the club that he loved the most on earth. But they are also speaking about Fonseca, and then you have other coaches like Galtier, ex-Olympique Marseille, ex-Paris Saint-Germain, Marcelo Gallardo, that is always a trendy name, Domenico Tedesco, that is at the moment coaching Belgium and will go to Euro 24, and then Mark van Bommel, ex-Milan player as well. In Atalanta, they have no problem. They continue with Gasperini. 8 seasons at the club. He did miracles with the Bergamaschi, while Gasperini could potentially even continue 2 more years, reaching 10 years with the Nerazzurri. Tuttosport is speaking about Torino. More and more they are going towards the option Italiano, the actual coach of Fiorentina. Not sure if that's the right choice to continue the journey and the career of Italiano, but looks like they want to. And if not him, well, they go towards another one, Palladino, ex-Juventus player, or even, I told you, Gilardino with Genoa that is doing fantastically well. Bologna, they say no. We hear about the voice of Thiago Motta to Juventus, but we don't want. We qualify to Champions League and we continue the project. We open a cycle. We want to extend until 2026 Thiago Motta, continuing to dream, this time not only in Italy, but also in Europe. Will they be able to keep him? I don't know. But in Italy, then after the coaches, there is another hot topic. It is calcio mercato, transfer market with Napoli. They will need to rebuild. They will probably even miss the big European stages. Europe qualification in Champions League is already done. Who knows about the other competition? Well, Napoli is thinking again to changing the team, and their first priority is to consolidate, to extend the contract of Kvaratskhelia, that this season was shadow and light. But the first season in Italy of Kvaratskhelia was just fantastic. They want to continue with him. Not sure, because there is Barcelona that is already informing themselves about the availability of the player. There are some targets from De Laurentiis that are looking for Jonathan David, or about Dovbyk that is doing really well with Girona in Spain. Rabiot could possibly leave for free at the end of the season. There are 2 clubs on him. Manchester United is always on him, but not sure because they will not play Champions League. But there is also Bayern Munich that will play Champions League, will also play that Club World Cup at the end of the summer 2025 or beginning of the summer 2025. And then 2 young guys from Juventus could possibly also leave the Bianconeri after their loan to Roma and Frosinone. Huijsen attracted, or at least contacted by a lot of clubs. The one that is the most serious at the moment, more than Newcastle, is Dortmund. Juventus has put the price tag of 30 million for the Dutch-Spanish defender. And there is also another one, Matthias Soulé, that could possibly leave in the summer with Aston Villa, that will probably also play Champions League next season, or at least European competition. After them letting Zaniolo go, they could again look in Italy, and this time taking Matthias Soulé, that Juventus is putting a label between the 35 and 40 million euro for their young Argentinian player. I hope you enjoyed that lot of information. Let me know your prediction for Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, whatever you want to. Thank you. My name is Giuseppe and we covered football.